Today, we have an interesting video. We're talking or returning to the concept of fitness again. So I'm thinking of actually making that maybe a bit more of the niche of this channel because it seems like a lot of you kind of appreciate that fitness aspect, and it is a very straightforward and direct way and simplistic way to improve one's life in all areas. So, today's video, as you can see, if you don't want to be fat, watch this. Yeah, I know, a bit on the nose, but my point is that essentially, if you want to change your life in some way, there's a very simplistic way to do it, and that's just applying effort. And I'll actually show you how science actually confirms this, and even Einstein was talking about this, even though when we think of working out, we don't think of Einstein's E equals mc squared and whatnot, but in fact, that is actually related to what happens when we do go to the gym. So, it's not just that if you don't want to be fat, watch this, but if you want to develop your mindset around fitness in some way or progress in some way. So it's not just for novices wanting to start at the gym, but it's also for people who've been going to the gym for a long time and want to overcome plateaus. So without further ado, let's get into it. Got our tappy marker here. We got everything ready to go. We got the triggers ready to go. So essentially, let's start off at the very basis. So, everything, as we know, is energy in the cosmos. Everything is a form of energy. Even us, matter, is a state of energy that's just vibrating at a lower frequency, or a denser frequency, rather. So, essentially, what you're doing when you exercise is you're moving the body into an energetic state. You're heating things up. Heat is the opposite of cold. When cold is applied to something, the atoms and the vibration of the molecules slow down. That's why when there's no movement, it's called absolute zero or 0 Kelvin. In essence, the basis is that when things are heating up or moving faster, they expel more energy and they get more excited. The atoms move faster, the molecules move faster. So same thing happens with the body. And that's why it's called exercise. I've said this before. Exercise and exorcise are the same thing. They're both expelling negative energy from the body. Exercise, if you're not familiar with the word exorcise, exorcise, refers to practice of pulling negative spirits or negative energy out of people. In essence, the premise is that they're both the same thing. One is done on a spiritual level, one is done on a physical level. So this is why I always say that people going to the gym, don't take any supplements or anything that you don't need. Drink water, drink tea, keep it clean, keep it simple. You don't need to put X, Y, Z in your body. All you need is the very basis. Flush out the system, let the impurities go. Get right onto it. So, movement, or let's start here, willpower. Willpower, the will to change the self. The willpower to change your mentality, to change your perspective, to better yourself in some way, requires you to release something, whether that is doubt, whether that is, camera's a little bit out of focus there. Whether that is doubt, whether that is complacency, whether that is a lack of ability to do something, whether that is a mental block, whether that is a perception of the self, whether that is some sense of not being good enough, some kind of negative self-talk, that is what you are releasing when you can make the commitment. I want to better my life for this reason, that reason, the other reason, whatever it is. Pick one and say, okay, and I know I'm saying a lot here, but essentially step one always starts with willpower and what your intention is. Why do I want to start losing weight? Why do I want to reach a new level? Why do I want to, create the conditions to better my life in some way? And once you realize that the aspect to that is that I'm doing it because, I don't know, it could be anything. It could be from, I want to look better in the mirror, I want to be a better individual, I want to use my energy more productively, I want to better my health, I want to start eating better, I want to, clean out the body, it could be something as simple as I want to get stronger. That's my personal reason why I go to the gym. I just want to get stronger, always have, always will. So willpower starts with making your intention clear. I want to get stronger. That's for example, my intention. Simple as that. So willpower, your intentions, state that, make it clear to yourself, because that will provide you the direction that you need. It's almost like if you're going on a journey, you want the needle of the compass to always be pointing or registering with north, or be magnetized to point you in the right direction of where you need to go. If the magnetic poles were constantly spinning, the compass wouldn't work, right? It's the same thing for setting your intention. Make your intention clear, and then the compass will always point you in the direction you need to go. Willpower, set your intention. Movement, so the next thing in willpower, that generates heat, because you are focusing all your energy into one point rather than letting it disperse. So movement is the next thing, putting that into action. Put your dream in action, or put your intention in action. So this is the basis of it, right? You have a vision, you have an intention, put that into movement. What actions do I need to take? Okay, I want to better my life, I want to work out, I want to get in shape. What do I need to do? Well, I need to go to the gym X amount of times a week. So I need to go to the gym 3 times a week. I need to go to the gym 5 times a week. I need to have this in my diet. I need to get, I would say, for me personally, I've always simplified it as much as possible. There's some people who get into dumb stuff like, oh, I need to count my calories, this and that, the other thing. If you're starting off, don't worry about the very specifics of it. If you want to do that, it's fine. But I encourage you to make it as simple as possible, because it makes it easier to be consistent with that. Me, I've always said to myself, I'm just going to train and do the simple stuff. There has been some points where I've, counted calories when I was a bit more in tune with weight. A little bit of a backstory here. I was once had the intention to go into professional boxing, and maybe I might even still do that in the future, considering how things play out. But in essence, though, the basis is that don't get obsessed with all the little specific nitpicky stuff. Just say, I need to eat cleaner. I need to, work out this many times a week, or roughly go this amount of times a week. So if you have 1 or 2 discrepancies, it won't make a difference really. And I'm not saying that, don't be consistent or don't have that aspect of consistency. I'm saying don't be so hard on yourself that it disrupts the whole rhythm. Keep to your rhythm. That's the most important thing. So movement. I need to go to the gym 3 times a week, 5 times a week. I need to have leafy greens in my diet. I need to have fruits in my diet. I need to have X amount of protein. I need to have steak, chicken, whatever, fish. By the way, fish, little tip here, fish is always good because it has also fatty acids like omega-3s that are really good for inflammation, a lot of stuff that helps you recover as well. So just a little tip in terms of protein. So protein, again, so here protein creates heat. So the basis is all of these things: willpower, setting your intention, applying your willpower to it, that creates heat because the energy is directed into one point. Movement of that energy being directed into one point, going to the gym X number of times a week, eating this, that, the other thing that is aligned with my diet. And when I say diet, I don't mean like a strict thing. I just mean that you have a meal plan or a rough idea of what you should be eating. So, again, you don't have to get too specific with it. just have a rough idea. And that's the basis for all of this stuff. I try to make it as simple as possible. So, willpower generates heat, movement generates heat, protein generates heat. How does protein generate heat? Also, excuse my spelling if anything on the board there is not perfect. So, protein generates heat. Why? Because when you're burning, or when you consume protein, it actually takes more energy of the body to metabolize or consume or digest protein than it does to consume carbs, because your body, your digestive system has to work harder. So it's almost somewhat like a workout for your digestive system as well. And because it has to work harder, it generates more heat. And when it generates more heat, it actually burns calories. So essentially, when you eat protein, there's I forget what the effect is called, but it's essentially a heat effect, which translates into more calories being burned. So that's the basis. Everything is moving more into an energetic state here. The body is heating up, which is a key point to you doing whatever it is with fitness, whether you want to put on weight, lose weight, etc., build strength, whatever, because you're moving more into an energetic state, and then you're reconstructing that state back into matter. So you're going up in energy, then back down in energy. You're riding the wave. So here, you can see E equals mc squared. What is E equals mc squared? It's the equation that Einstein came up with that is a cosmic principle which translates mass or connects mass and energy. Mass being your body or whatever's in your body as well. Fat, muscle, toxins, water, all of that stuff. Moving it more into an energy state, then translating that back into a mass state. So, again, don't want to get too spiritual here in a video about fitness, but we are spiritual beings. We're light beings. We're made of energy. We're electromagnetic. So, again, that's one of the reasons why setting your intention is so important, and what I would say is the foundation. So, baseline is where you start at, where there's no movement being created. None of this stuff is implemented yet. And then once you start to apply this stuff, such as you making movement or going to the gym, you're moving your energy towards a more energetic state. So, moving more into an energy state. So while you're doing pull-ups, or when you're running, or when you're doing push-ups, whatever exercise you're doing, maybe it's even like shadow boxing or some other form of cardio, whatever your training routine is, you're moving the body, you're moving more into an energy state, you're going up in energy, you're climbing in terms of vibration, and then when you're done your exercise, it slowly comes back down to whatever your new baseline is, after having removed all those toxins, everything that your body no longer needs. And again, this is why I trumpet not using supplements unless you're a professional athlete, because really, if you're attempting to better yourself and you're concerned with just advancing yourself in some way, you're not competing in a professional sport or competing at some level against somebody else, and you're just competing against yourself, then you want almost something that you can measure across without discrepancies, and you also don't want those toxins in your system that you don't need. Remember, the thing about the cosmos, the beautiful thing about life, is you can win with hard work alone. All you need is to apply effort. So, and that's the main thing for me, especially now. I've been through all the supplements, I've taken them as, going into being a professional athlete, all of this stuff. What I've learned is I want to become, now that I'm competing against myself, I want to become stronger with my willpower alone. I want to become stronger with my strength alone. I don't want to rely on protein, creatine, beta-alanine, XYZ good. So, again, just bring that into your awareness. I'm not saying that they're bad, that they don't have any beneficial effects. I'm just saying be conscious of why you use them and that you don't really need them truly. So again, when you go up in the energetic state here, the toxins are filtered out and the body is purified. So you raise your energy up from your baseline, the body is purified, and you come back down in energy when you finish your workout and the toxins are filtered out. The body is in a more purified state now. And you shed that mass of whatever toxins that you don't need. And now, and you're breaking down your muscles and all this stuff at the same time, burning calories X, Y, Z. And then that mass that you are accumulating is now coming back in the form of muscle mass, because you're telling your body through the electrical impulses and again your intention that I want to build muscle, I want to lose weight, I want to cut, I want to bulk, whatever it is, right? That's your intention. So I know I get a bit episodic in these videos sometimes, talking about all the aspects that you can implement to this, but the simplified version is this: that you set your intention, that creates heat, you direct your energy into one point, you take that and apply it to whatever you're doing, your routine, lifestyle, diet, whatever, that creates heat as well. Especially because you're making the intention for that to be consistent. And then you're consuming that stuff, so it goes almost mental, emotional, and physical. So these are the levels actually of you can almost think of it spiritually as well. Intention, movement, the physical. So protein is the physical, you consume it, generates heat. All of these things are generating heat. You're moving more into an energy state, and then it's almost like if you're familiar with physics, there's a phenomenon known as a wave function collapse. So it's very similar to almost what's going on here. You're raising the energy up, and you're collapsing part of the wave function, all the toxins, all the stuff that you don't need within the body. You're collapsing the wave function back into energy, and then you're allowing that wave to then come back and express itself differently, that energy to express itself differently. It's going into pure light or pure energy, and then that pure energy is coming back into the form as muscle mass. So you go up, 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 and then you come down. But when you come down, you're purified, you're rejuvenated, you're renewed, you're revitalized, and you're reconstructed as well. You're a stronger, more developed human being. And this is the thing, this title is a bit on the nose to kind of create some controversy. Fact is, you guys know who are watching this, and I can tell you guys are intelligent because you're watching this and you want to better your life. So just for reference, good on you. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud that you're here. I'm very proud that you're listening. I'm very proud that you want to better your life. Know that you can do it. But I put this to great controversy because, as we know, in the 21st century, that sparks a lot of engagement around subjects. So, again, I don't typically like to leverage those strategies, but when in Rome, right? In essence, I will give you guys a bit more of an ASMR vibe now. And the thing is that I will say is that when you start on your journey and you build up that momentum, you build up that rhythm that we're talking about here by implementing all of this stuff, and you get into your flow, things like little discrepancies, we're having a meal you like or whatever, it's not gonna break the bank in terms of, your development here. So if you want to have that pizza once in a while, it's not gonna affect you as significantly as it would if you had not built up that momentum. So that's why for me, I always state that always count your calories. It's not important that you always count your calories. It's more important that you create consistency. Great consistency. And when you create consistency, which I know you guys have the ability to do, I believe in you. If I haven't mentioned it already, I think I have, but just in case I'll mention it again, that I believe in you. You guys can do it. I love you. And you have that potential to be whoever you want to be. Don't let anyone, including yourself, take that away from you. Biggest obstacle we face a lot of times in life. The biggest obstacle we face a lot of times in life is battling against the adversary and the demons inside ourselves. And those come in the form of patterns, addictions, habits that do not serve us. They don't serve us. So we can let them go, burn them all up into the flame of the self, transmute them, transcend them, transform them, make them work for you, let them give you that willpower to succeed. I always say one of the best things you can do to succeed is just get excited about challenges. You know, if you're overweight, if you're out of shape, even if you're skinny, like me, I started off like almost weighing nothing. I was skinny when I went to the gym. I had like no muscle mass. I was like maybe what you consider like skinny fat or whatever. But like now, I never had the intention to be a big buff guy either. I just wanted to be strong, and now I am strong. But the thing is that you have the potential to be whatever you want to be, and that it's relative to who you are, but get excited about that challenge. I have the potential to, overcome this challenge. I have the potential to be the best version of myself. I have the potential to be whoever I want to be. Don't let that discourage you that you're not there yet. Say, I'm excited the fact that I have this opportunity to compete against myself in my full glory. Every time I go in the gym, especially not just at the gym at my house, but when I go to the gym like on campus, at college, or anywhere else, I always get excited when I go to the pull-up bar because I have another opportunity to compete against me. There's no one I know who can do pull-ups like I can, so I always get excited like I do. I don't like to talk so much about myself in these videos. I can't. Let me know if you guys want me to talk more about my experience in the comment section below. But I always, I'm basically doing probably at least over 100 pull-ups in a workout. And I just get excited every time that I can compete against myself. I have the opportunity to reach a new level. I'm like Goku and Vegeta when it comes to this. I'm just excited at the prospect of training and reaching a new level and pushing myself, Recently, I'm training now with the belt, so I'm putting the 25 plate on as I do weighted pull-ups, and recently I've also used the 45 plate. I haven't been able to get almost the rep count that I want with the 45 plate, but I'm working my way up, and that's the important thing. You get excited about the opportunity to compete against yourself. It's almost like if you're into anime, it's almost like if you've ever seen Beyblade Metal Fusion. That's something like a series I really like. It's very much like Dragon Ball, where it's very much about competing and the aspect of bettering yourself and challenging yourself against your own ability and your rivals. And one of the spin this around. One of the aspects about that is that for example, Kyoya, he's one of the characters characters in this show, he's excited because he always has the opportunity to battle against Jinga, who's the main character, right? I get another chance to battle with Jinga. You seem pleased that the competition has to continue on, Kyoya. I get another chance to battle with Jinga. I get to battle with Jinga one more time. That's how you should be against yourself. I have the opportunity to battle with myself again. So, and again, this is not like narcissism. This is just like you. It's self-love, basically. It's you challenging yourself to reach a new level, to show yourself that, like, you know, let's challenge each other to be the best we can be. A lot of times what I find about the gym too is that when you're challenging and pushing yourself to these extents, the thing is that like, for example, one of the things a lot of guys have, especially, I don't know how many girls experience this. I can obviously only speak for a guy's experience. But, like, you have that voice of, like, doubt in the back of your mind, almost like saying, like, oh yeah, push yourself, do, like, this many more reps or whatever. The thing is, a lot of times that voice is not meant to discourage you or to make you feel bad about yourself, but it's meant to be that inner voice that is wanting to reach a deeper level, to want to push harder, to want to challenge yourself. And the funny thing is, a lot of the times, if you listen to it instead of just fighting against it, and you integrate it, which is a spiritual term, meaning that you utilize it to your benefit, and you allow that voice to like have its opinion integrated or allowed into your experience, what you notice is that if you do those, like, you know, a couple more reps or whatever it's telling you to do in the back of your mind, that little voice, if you listen to it, you reach a new level and it goes away, because you integrate it into yourself. You become more unified inside of yourself. And it doesn't mean that if you don't reach that rep count, then, like, you know, you've like failed somehow. It's just the version of you that wants to always push your limits. So, you know, you don't have to ignore it. You don't have to listen to it completely either, but you should integrate it, because ultimately it's there because it wants to help you. So just allow it to do its talking in a way that's going to assist your benefit. I think that's enough for the box. I like the tappy marker. I really like the tappy marker. It always sounds so nice. But yeah, that has been the majority of what I have to talk about today. I don't want to, I like to talk and I like to do triggers, but typically I can only, do the board explanation or the triggers one at a time. And I think you guys can already pick up that there's a lot of information that I talk about, so it's a lot to do multiple things at one time. But I'm attempting to do more of the ASMR trigger aspects as I talk about these subjects, because I know you guys are typically listening to this as you're going to sleep, which is good because it will actually go into the subconscious mind and it'll make it easier for you guys to absorb this information and for you guys to apply it in your life. So keep that in mind, that when you listen to these before you go to bed, when you listen to these before you go to bed, when you listen to these before you go to bed, and you have that intention that you're just going to allow that to pass into your mind and allow that to give you benefit in your life, that it makes it easier to implement these things because you lessen the conscious resistance to it. That's why, I find school is really stupid, because people get worked up and stressed out or bored with like whatever they're learning, and that doesn't help them learn more. If you simplify things and make it fun and engaging, it makes it easier for people to learn, especially if they're relaxed. So, and that's what I aim to provide you guys. So that is the majority of what I have for you guys to do on the Sword of Mercury. Let me know if you guys enjoy videos like this. Let me know if maybe compared to some of the other videos you like the way this one's set up, where I talk about like this stuff first, then implement the triggers, or if you guys would want to see me attempt to implement the triggers at the same time when I'm explaining. So I really appreciate all your guys' feedback. I love you guys for, commenting and supporting this channel. I know I could be a little bit controversial or, what's the word I'm looking for? Provoking maybe at times, or provocative, whatever. But I can assure you it's with the truest intention that I do want you guys to benefit. But sometimes you guys need a push, especially with, playing on people's nerves or whatever, because they will listen and it will speak truth or resonate with them in some way. So again, I want you guys to be okay. I want you guys to reach your full potential, because like genuinely I say this knowing that I am on your side. I'm the guy who wants you to win. I want all the people who listen to this channel to be successful, because you guys are on my side in the fight, right? So I want you guys to be your best version of the self. I want you guys to get everything you want out of life. I want you guys to reach whatever pinnacle of development that you want, right? So again, this is what I have for you today on the Sword of Mercury. Let me know if you guys enjoy these triggers as well. Or specifically, if you're wondering why my nails are so long right now, specifically because I did not cut them because I wanted to do ASMR with them. So I'm not some goth girl on the internet who can just put on fake nails or whatever and I don't know, tap it up, right? Make nice sounds. So and again, everything you see here on this channel is very natural. If you're thinking my skin looks so nice and blah 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 blah, I'm not wearing any makeup. There's no visual effects going on. There's no editing going on with any of the stuff you see here. Everything is 100% authentic on this channel, and that's what I seek to always give you guys. I want you guys to always have the best quality of content coming from me, so you know the guy who's speaking to you is authentic. Does what he says. He is the guy who is like genuinely on your side, will not abandon you, because he believes what he says, and everything that he says is what he does himself. So same way I talk to you guys, the same way I talk to myself. So it's very much that talk that is going to push you to that next level of development. And I know because I've experienced it pushing me to the next level of development. And again, like I said, I want you guys to experience that yourself. I want you guys to have everything you want. So I'm good. Once again, I'm going to sum it up there. So I think this video's like almost 35 minutes long. So in essence, this has been today's video right here on the Sword of Mercury. I'm creating almost like new segment out of fitness. Let me know what you guys want to see on fitness. There's a lot I can comment on in relation to all these subjects. So I'm very knowledgeable about these things, if I do say so myself. Remember, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, it's gonna be over 35 minutes now. But anyway, let me know if you guys like these longer videos. Let me know if you guys appreciate the shorter videos. Let me know what you guys want to see going forward. Once again, all my links will be in the description below. I encourage you to like, subscribe, comment, help support the channel. Follow me on Instagram at top_sorcerer and also prince_of_Mercury. I'm still building So your support is very much appreciated,